one thing, what we think for the future is that the electrification of autonomous driving will reshape our mobility and mobility habits completely. We are in the middle of a huge transformation, really changing everything what we know. And in this transformation, we are changing the IT and engineering technologies. They convert into a digital and connected future where we have much more data, much more generated information, and we need to be able to handle those. The major role is in how we can manage this data and how we can use it to create our future and the new development what we have. And we have to do that, of course, sustainable, because the sustainable transformation, it opens a lot of possibilities and makes sure that our future we can keep in a better world as it is today. Of course, we have some challenges in this. And here again, I have two stories which are happening about 100 years from each other. The first is, I think many of you know that, from Bertha Benz, who was the wife of Carl Benz, who created the very first automobile. And she was also, I would say, not well-behaving woman creating history, because that's what we love. That's courage, what we need also in the future. I heard a sentence, well-behaved people never create history. So that's, she basically stole the very first half-ready automobile from his husband without knowing him and drew to the parents 100 kilometers away without any tanking infrastructure, without services for the cars or something like that, because it was the very first thing. But this trip was creating the possibility to create the cars we know today. And similar, a colleague and friend of mine is a very big enthusiast of electric mobility, was driving from Stuttgart to Brussels many times and counting on their fast charging infrastructure on the way. But you know, in Luxembourg at that time there is only one hyperfast charging station, which was at that time not working. With this, the normally 6.5 hours trip went to a nightmare of over 11 hours trying to trickle charge on low charging stations. So the similarity between the two is we have enthusiasts who are driving the future, but we need to create the infrastructure and we need to find solutions how we can generate the trust so that it's available for the masses. And for that, at Akkodis, we have a research project which is gathering data from charging activities from different charging possibilities from the charging points, collecting these data on a statistical basis into the cloud and using AI to estimate the state of health of the batteries and the health of the charging procedure, so that we can get enough information even before a system failure that a certain system needs maintenance, with that creating enough reliability. And we focus here really on topics for the future, what we can realize in the next 2, 3, 4 years, even with the limited resources what we have to generate more reliable and more available future, where more people have the trust to switch to the future and sustainable solution. For that, we also have our own charging controller, which is already utilized in many of the charging points and which is enabling megawatt charging even without the communication connection. So it can do a Wi-Fi connection and also charge buses on a pantograph on a very, very fast level, and also collect data as needed. That's one of the development activities next to the others what we do for developing complete powertrain systems and energy systems. Another interesting thing, getting into automated mobility and highly automated driving, is our research, our water project, aiming to enable for the emergency cars to get a free lane, so moving the cars automatically on a side, knowing where the emergency vehicles should pass, enabling a corridor for these emergency vehicles. For that, our research team built together a control system consisting of many sensors and logic, which is able to control the car and take over the car and automatically move it out of the way of the emergency vehicles. It's a very interesting project of our research team. The next thing is, I get pretty many times the question, where should all the electricity be coming from, what we need for the electric mobility? It's a question what is always put when we put a new electric car in the market or develop it for our customers. So we were thinking like how we can create ecosystems, how we can distribute the energy, and how we can store the energy which is maybe CO2 neutrally generated, not in the times where it's needed. And for that, we were thinking about a smart battery solution. So just imagine a battery which is the same standard like your normal AA cells, but with enough energy to move your utilities, your motorcycle, your car, or even to buffer the energy for your house. So we developed a standard which we suggest and did also functional prototypes of this. It's in further development to be able to show a model how this is possible. Normally the people are driving like 30 kilometers in a day, but still everyone wants a battery which is able to drive 800 kilometers to fulfill. It's not really a good use of our resources. With this solution, you could have a much smaller battery which is sufficient for your daily business, but if you're driving to holidays, you could extend it in your car and have it for these limited periods much better utilized. We have on the next slide a short presentation for that.
On our combined journey, we are faced with some of the biggest challenges of our time. Our major advances have resulted in our natural resources being at stake. We are now at a crossroads. Are we ready to change our mindset, change our behavior, and create a positive impact? Are we letting things slip through our fingers, or are we willing to take matters into our own hands? At Akkodis, we embrace change. Change is the opportunity for our disruptive ideas to emerge. It is our opportunity to innovate. We see ourselves as part of an ecosystem, of a bigger scheme, where single actions can create synergies, capable of unleashing meaningful change and impacting the course of the future. The Akkodis Smart Battery is a result of this mindset. Unlike current battery technologies, the Akkodis Smart Battery combines different battery chemistries and cell types, enabling it to charge various different devices and to easily adopt new technologies. Need to use your car battery later in the day in your electric scooter? No problem. The modular system means inter-device replacement. Discharged modules can be exchanged with the charged ones from powering stations or even from a home storage unit, which means no more extended charging periods and a quick establishment of second life usage. This small, lightweight system also means no dragging of large e-vehicle batteries when driving from A to B. At Akkodis Mobility Solutions, these ideas shape our thinking and drive us to innovate mobility.
Engineering a smarter future together.
Thank you. The question is, of course, how will we proceed from this point? We are developing the powertrains, we are developing the battery systems. We are also providing at the moment a vehicle with this system, which we'll be showing in the IAA. So you can take a look at it. You can also take a look of our battery models here on our stage. So I encourage you to visit. The next steps for these batteries is, of course, we just don't want to provide the batteries. We'd like to show a solution where the state of health of each battery is monitored with an AI-supported cloud-based solution to monitor the state of health of these batteries. The cloud-connected battery management system is a development of our research team, as well as our charging connector, what I said in the charge.com before. And we have in each battery a charge-coupled model controller, which is ensuring that the battery is charged safely and we know how the current status of the battery is. Of course, this is a way to extend the battery capacity, what you normally have in your vehicle, and to be able to drive even with more capacity as your vehicle normally supports. But we have certain solutions where we need even more energy, like in trucking business. For that, we also have a solution what we are developing with our partner together. It's also able to be deployed at the moment, so it's so far in the development, which is able to store to 1 megawatt hours of energy and deploy it on remote places where the network is not available for that. It could be charged from a wind or from a solar panel and store enough energy so you can ultra-fast charge a truck if it arrives to this parking place. This is the solution which is shown on the bottom right corner. The next point is how we are trying to develop our products and show an early view for our customers with help of augmented reality and virtual reality in the system. For this purpose, we have topics where we are developing complete vehicles. We are developing the user interfaces of these vehicles. So we developed a system where the customer can sneak peek in how the vehicle would look like, how the user interface would look like once it's ready. And they can already drive the car in our virtual system, or the truck in our virtual system, in order to see if the user interface is suiting their needs and do quick changes before the aggregates, the parts are already designed and deployed, with us saving time and costs in the deployment. The solution, what the customer sees, looks something like this. So we have then a new vehicle in a truck. They can see the road. They can see how the user interface, the displays are working, and they can also check in which road situations how the display would react. So it's a full road simulation in this case. It's also an extension to our training program. So we did also with virtual reality a possibility to show repair manuals displaying in an augmented reality system. The two are combined to show our customers what their vehicles in 3 or 4 years could look like. And one example of really bringing from the beginning, from the virtual reality to a full product which is shown and which could be driven, is the Vision D of BMW, which we did for the customer, designed and built up the car as a very first prototype. I think some of you have maybe seen it in the press. It's a very nice example of getting the first virtual reality parts, then getting the half-ready product and building a very first example, till Jürgen here is happy about the functionalities of the car and showing the impact, how the future could look like. My conclusion to all this is basically the very best way to predict the future, to estimate how the future would look like, is really to create it ourselves. If we might not know how the future is looking like, but if we are pushing through, if we are making the impossible happen, imagine what could happen and then realize it, that's the best way to create a future as we would like to have it. And that's basically the possibility what our customers have with Akkodis, as we have 50,000 engineers worldwide, really on the top level, who are able to support our customers in 4 business lines, 4 service lines, to realize their ideas and to really make that what they imagine now in 3 years a reality for the whole world, and to scale it up also for the masses. The 4 business lines what we have are our consulting business, which is making the highest expertise and helping the customer understand their needs and understand how they can realize their needs. The solutions business, where we really take greater projects like developing a complete vehicle, developing an electric powertrain or a battery system, and realize that from the concept phase from the beginning to making it in the serious production and rolling it out for the mass production. The talent business, where we place single people, place experts to our customers who are then working in the premises of the customers. And of course our academy, where we are upskilling, reskilling our own people, but also we have great programs for reskilling and teaching the people of our customers for the challenges of their future. I would like to thank you for your attention, and I'm appreciating if you have any questions for these topics.
Thank you, Károly. I think we have time for maybe 1 question or 2. Does anyone have any questions?
So thanks a lot for this nice presentation. I really like the concept of this modular battery kind of thing. But my question now is, how are you going to tackle the problem of standardization? Are you working with the car manufacturers, as you've shown with BMW, or is it more from the government policies? So what's the approach you're going to proceed here?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So at the moment, this battery is basically a demonstration of our research team, what is possible and how we can provide a standard. We are, of course, working for many customers like BMW, like Volkswagen, Mercedes, and so on. And we are presenting these solutions also to them. I must say we are also not pushing very hard to make this the global standard. It's just a suggestion of how a standard could look like. We need a bit more work to understand also the needs of other players on the market. And maybe this is only a first version of how a global standard could look like, what we need to agree with other companies. The idea is to make an open standard which each company can produce. So it's not locked to one of the companies, but the same way like an AA battery. Each battery manufacturer have their own AA batteries. That would be our vision for the future.
Anyone else? Maybe 1 more? Well, if not, we'll wrap up here, and then maybe you can find Károly later at the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the possibility. See you soon.